Hello everyone, Ali from Boost Your Body here. As you know, the studios are reopening tomorrow, and with our new and temporary way of training, we thought it would be good for you to make a video for you to learn and or remember how to execute the exercises in the videos. I will try to keep it in much detail as possible and give you all the pointers that you need throughout the workouts when you're in the studio. Okay, so we have two workouts. The reason of that is the second workout is a bit of a progressed version, so it's a bit more challenging than the first one. That's why we're giving both out, but don't worry, they're both very effective, hitting all the muscle groups in your body and kind of gonna give you that buzz of coming in back into weight training. Okay, so let me run you through our first workout. Both workouts have 4 stages, and I will actually warn you about what weights to use approximately, of course, because the weight load changes for everyone. But I'm going to try to pass you a pattern to follow while you're choosing your weights. Okay, the first lot of exercises consists of 4 exercises, and we're going to be focusing on the legs on this one. Okay, the first exercise is a dumbbell stiff leg deadlift. Okay, so we shouldn't go too heavy on these ones to start with. For example, for myself, I know that I can do the stiff leg deadlifts easily up to 15 kilograms, but thinking that I'm taking a break, I will start a bit lower than that. Okay, so the weights that I'm choosing for myself here are 10 kilos, and I will run you through the exercise first. So we need 2 dumbbells for this exercise, relatively heavier dumbbells. The form is extremely important in this exercise. So we're going to hold our 2 dumbbells and we're going to hold them up front. Okay? And the second movement is, while we are holding these dumbbells, we're going to hinge from the waist, let your knees bend slightly, don't lock them out, and hinging from the waist without bending your knees, we're going to try to get our upper body parallel to the floor. With a strong core, come up and squeeze our glutes. Okay, the most important things first, please try not to go any lower than 90-degree angle on the waist, because as soon as you hit that angle, you are going to try to start to put pressure on your discs, on your spine. So hitting a 90 and just getting your chest at a parallel to floor is perfectly enough for this exercise. Okay, so we're going to hold both ways up front. What I try to do is keep myself more centered. I just literally slide the weights down my leg, hit that 90-degree angle, come up, squeeze the glutes, and all throughout I'm trying to keep my feet hip width apart. Okay, so that's our first exercise. You might remember this from our past routines too. Quite simple, quite straightforward. After that, what I'm going to go for is, we are going for goblet squats with a dumbbell. Okay, so for that exercise, because I've chosen 10s for my stiff leg, I'm going to go for a 15 on this goblet squat. So what we need to do is place the weight in between the hands this way. This is the most secure way to hold the weight. Okay. So after that position, bring your feet a bit wider than your hips. Make sure you're keeping your toes in line with your knees. And what we're doing here is, as we go down, we're pushing our glutes back and we are trying to keep our knees behind the toes at all times. Try not to let your knees overrun the toes, because if you do that, you're going to take all that tension from your glutes, which is an essential part of this exercise. So from this point, we need to come up, drive from our heels and come up. One other thing that is very important is you need to use your glutes during this exercise too. So as we go down, pushing our glutes back and keeping our core very strong, we're going to go down, come about about hip 90 degrees, maybe a bit lower, you don't need to go fully low. And coming from there, as soon as you start to drive up from your heels, start to squeeze your glutes. You're going to be so surprised how the pressure on your knees decrease if you start to squeeze your glutes right from the start. So that's very important. Okay. Right after that, we're going into our third exercise, a glute bridge. Okay. You can use the exact same weight that you have used for your goblet squat on this one too. Okay. So while we are going here, the rep numbers are different. That's why I'm kind of recommending you to stick to the same weight. Okay, so get into that position, feet about hip width apart, maybe a bit wider, but you don't need to go too wide. And from there, what we're going to do is we're going to thrust our hip, push the hip up as far as you can. Don't let that dumbbell roll down. Okay, that's why our hands are balancing it. So you want to keep it as high as possible on your hip flexors or around there. Bring it down and push it up. As soon as you push it up at the top, squeeze your glutes and contract your pelvic floor. And we're going to keep on doing this for 14 reps as our third exercise. Right after that, we're going to do another squat version, okay? And we can use the exact same weights that we have used on our first exercise on the stiff leg deadlifts for that one. So we need two lighter dumbbells compared to what we used during the goblet squats. Keep those weights on the side of your body, keeping your feet hip width apart. Don't just connect both knees, give some space in between the feet. And from there, we're going down with the squat form again. So the most important thing about this is don't hinge from the waist, that becomes a deadlift. We're squatting it down, come up. You might find that, oh, I'm not going as deep as I can. On the goblet squats, that's perfectly fine, don't worry about that. Just find that range that you can manage with ease. Go down. As soon as you're coming up, start squeezing the glutes and push your weight from your heels. So the weight stays on your heels. And remember, do not let your knees overrun the toes. Come up and just keep on executing this very simple exercise as our fourth exercise. And remember, all throughout these fourth exercises, you're literally using one heavy dumbbell and two relatively light dumbbells. So sticking to the same weights. All this workout, you're going to be using literally 3 sets of weights anyways. Okay? Then we go into our second lot of exercises, which starts with this is mostly focused on the shoulders and the arms. We're going to be starting with the dumbbell shoulder press, then go into a hammer curl and do a floor triceps extension. For all these exercises, you need the exact same dumbbells. So there's no confusion there, okay? So we need a light set of dumbbells, okay? I would recommend somewhere between 3 to 5 kilo range, not anything more at this point, okay? So the first exercise, dumbbell shoulder press. We get the dumbbells this way. What I try to do is, I never drop the dumbbells lower than my ears. That gives me a quite good range to work things out, okay? And from there, what we're doing is, we're pushing them up. You don't have to touch the dumbbells at the top. That's not a request. That's not a requirement. And from there, push up. Most important thing, don't let your elbows go back. So you want to keep your elbows always further forward than the shoulders. And push up from there. And push up from there. Okay, that's our first exercise. Second exercise, exact same weight. You don't even need to let the weights go. We're going for hammer curls, which means that we're going to be doing a bicep curl, but with keeping our hands in that neutral position. And from there, pull these weights up towards your shoulder caps and bring them down. The most important thing, while you're executing this exercise, don't pull your elbow back. So you want to keep the upper arm very stable and just pull the weight from there and always let go with a bit of a control. And as we get tired, one other thing that we do is we start to get into a bit of a swing. If you think that that swing is coming your way, you can have a little rest or try your best to swing it as least as possible. Okay? Right after that, with the same weights, we're going on the floor to work the back of our arms with a floor tricep extension. We're gonna keep it simple as again. So arms are straight. What we are doing is we are dropping those weights towards our down and pushing them up again. We're trying to keep the upper arm as straight as possible. A slight dip of the elbows is alright. A strong grip is necessary. And from there we're just going to bring them down and bring them up. One other important thing is please, please, please don't let your elbows wear out. So you want to keep your elbows in line at all times. You can keep them maybe a notch wider than your shoulders, but ideally try to keep the elbows in line with your shoulders and just execute the exercise that way. Okay, so those are the 3 exercises that we're going to do for our shoulders and arms. Then we're getting up and going for a back. Going for the third lot of our exercises that works mainly our back. So for these exercises, I'm again going to use the exact same weight that I have used during my stiff leg deadlifts. Okay, because it's a huge muscle group, it can handle some weight. Okay, so I'm going to grab those 10s again. What I'm going to do is, for this exercise, I will hinge or bend over from the waist, pushing my glutes back and settling it. You don't have to go all the way down, okay? This might kind of catch you on the back. So if you find a place between that like 45 to 60 degrees angle to the floor, that's the perfect position. Bend your knees slightly, that takes the pressure of your lower back. So when you get into that position, let your arms hang down, and from there what we're going to do is we're just going to pull these dumbbells back. Okay, the most important thing, don't pull the dumbbells up towards your shoulder, but pull the dumbbells towards your hips. Okay, so from there, just pull them back. We're not letting the arms go out too much. It's okay if you keep the dumbbells that way, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to find that perfect position keeping them that way or that way. Actually, a slight angle, inverted angle is really good. So go forward and pull those dumbbells towards your hips. And you shouldn't let your elbows go out. Just keep them slightly tucked in and pull. With every pull, you're gonna pull those shoulder blades in at the top. Right after that exercise, we're gonna drop these weights down and we're gonna pick up our lighter weights to do reverse flies. For the reverse flies, your bodily form is exactly the same. The way we hold the change and the way we move the arms has to change a bit. So we're again in that position, pushing the glutes back, keeping a strong core. From there, what we want to do, we want to keep these weights. Don't keep your arms fully straight. Bend them a bit. You can point your elbows out slightly. And another important thing is keeping these dumbbells parallel to your torso. That's going to give you the best angle. And from there, what we're going to do is we're going to pull those arms back using the shoulder blades. Fantastic. And always bring them with control. Don't just bring them down and just let them come down without control. And from there, just pull them back. So slightly bent elbows, you don't need to keep your arms straight. And as you pull it to the top, squeeze those shoulder blades in. So those are the three exercises, three lots of exercises that we're going to be using our weights. And after that, we have a brief core workout, quite simple but quite effective. The first exercise is literally we're doing nice and easy crunches. We're going to go for 25 crunches. So you can go hands over the shoulders, hands against the head. The higher you hold your hands, the harder it becomes. Okay, so we're going to go for a crunch, hold it for a split second, come back. In that crunch, two important things. Belly button sucked in, lower back is connected to the mat. Okay, so from there, and exhale every time you aim up. Right after that, what we're going to go for is we're going to go for ankle tap. So we're staying in the same position. What I would like you to do, get up halfway into a crunch, strong core, lower back on the mat. Make sure you're not pulling your head forward. Just keep your neck straight. Okay, and from there, we're just going to tap our ankles. It can be our heels, our ankles, the calves, whatever is comfortable for you. Staying in that crunched up position, and we're going to go 20 on each side. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and up to 20, just keeping that position. If at any point you feel like, oh, my abs are burning, I can't handle it, give yourself a breather, try to get in a few, or just aim for the maximum number of reps that you can go for. Okay? Hope this was clear enough for you. If you have any questions before we start the classes, you can ask me, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.